What?
Oh, yeah.
You were off. Welcome to Couch Potatoes. Special guest Dominic's on tonight. Some people know him as Paddy. But no, Dominic.
I know him as Dominic.
Dominic. Yeah, Dominic Brunt.
I answer to anything.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do that.
Dominic Brunt, obviously, you're well known for Emmerdale. But we want to talk about...
I'm only known for Emmerdale, actually, really. But
That's not true.
No, it's not, no.
You went to, did you go to school in Naki?
I'm from Accrington. I'm from Worley, and then my mum and my dad, for some reason, moved to Darwin.
Right.
And Worley was really lovely. You know,
Worley's
Worley
nice.
in Lancashire moved to Darwin, which we were a bit disappointed about.
As we used to call it.
Yeah, so I went to primary school and then secondary school there. And then, after that, they moved to Accrington. And I feel loyal towards Accrington, but it's not
going
Worley.
downhill.
They did. And we asked my mum recently, like, why did we end up moving from Worley?
Oh,
in a
Worley
really
to-
nice school that we liked. Why did we move to Darwin and Accrington? And she went, oh, I don't remember. I was like, right.
So did you go to Moorhead?
I did go to Moorhead, yeah. Did you?
No, my kids went to St Christopher's.
Oh, yeah, the posh school at the side,
School,
yeah.
I'm going to say that's probably why you turned that around.
Yeah, the side by side out, there's a faith school,
Yeah.
which is that, was it Church of England?
Yeah.
And then, well, that was the other thing as well. So we went to a nice school and then we went there and she said, well...
Yeah, Moorhead would have always a bit dodgy.
Well, because I started hanging around with my next door neighbours and my mum said, what school do you want to go to? And I said, well, I'll go to his school. So we went to my mate's school and it was a dive. And yet we were brought up Catholics, you know. It's like, why did we
St Christopher's were posh.
She's probably just trying to teach you the...
And this,
the ways of the world, the ways of Accrington.
Early.
and this might be bullshit, but did you used to be a sheet metal worker?
Welder.
I was a welder and sheet metal worker, technical sheet metal worker, yeah.
Where at?
Yeah. Great Harwood, Briggs Sheet Metal.
Do you know how happy he was to find this out?
Why? What do you
He's
mean?
always banging on about how he was a sheet metal worker.
Were you a sheet metal
I was
worker?
a sheet metal worker. I
Like time served?
Yeah, Graham, well, I know, I got sacked it third year.
Because, like, well, people say you were a welder, weren't you? But then sometimes it's easy just to say, yeah, I was a welder, because I was a welder and I welded all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's not easy being a sheet metal worker, is it? You really have to train for it. It's
I
like,
got sacked.
because you were shit?
Yeah, because I was shit.
Right. Fair enough.
And I were a knobhead.
Right,
So not a lot's
right.
changed, but
That's two things you can get sacked for,
Yeah,
actually,
it is,
isn't it?
yeah. And my foreman were called Stuart Fraser, so I used to call him stupid because I didn't like him.
Stupid phrases.
Yeah, stupid
That sounds like a 7-year-old.
From Graham Sheet Metal, and apparently he were really clever. He invented a welding process.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He sacked me.
No, I was a nerd like that, though. I was proud of being a sheet metal worker. And we used to work for Sellafield, and we did all the
I've been up to
stuff.
Sellafield.
And, did you?
Yeah, I've been up to
I bet
Sellafield.
we bumped into each other.
You know what? We're about 5 years apart.
Yeah. Are you younger than me?
I'm older than you.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I don't look across.
I'm all good with that, Dominic.
Smooth. You bought me a pint, so I was like, yeah.
So did you serve your time? You finished your time?
I didn't quite serve my time because I left.
Right.
Because what happened is the chap was, there was only me and this chap, so we got all these massively interesting jobs. And then the more successful he came, the worse I got the jobs. So it's hardly English, but the other apprentices then got the good jobs because they had to train them up. And I ended up welding like 1,000 chairs together, but I was really highly kind of...
They used to put me on, because it hated me anyway. And we used to make mud guards for Boydell and Jacks.
Right.
It was the most boring job in the world, and I used to get that.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to the pub every lunchtime. And I came back one lunchtime, just had one too many. Mentioned...
In charge of 2,600
Yeah,
degrees.
Yeah. And they said, I think you finished. So yeah, that was my end of my sheet metal career. But
So jumping away from sheet metal is interesting.
So,
it is. Like,
did you used to do square rounds and stuff?
Yeah, square rounds were good. I used to do elliptical square rounds, which are even harder, yeah.
Mine were always a couple of mil out, and I didn't see a problem with that. But apparently
well, I had a boss that if you got your goat wrong, he'd sling it across the workshop, so I used to get it right in the end.
You actually still seem very proud of this.
I love being I'll always be a welder. I'm a welder sheet metal worker, but I'm acting for a bit.
You can't say anything. You've got time.
I'm all right. I've done that. I'm finished. I'm just happy.
So back into that, what year was that? And how far from there were you getting into acting?
I think I left school at 15 because I went straight into an apprenticeship, and then I left there when I was 19. So I think I did 4 years, but then I carried on welding through drama school because I could pay my way doing that at the weekends in the summer and all that. You know,
just doing scotching jobs and.
Yeah, just doing cars, welding chassis, and working for foundries.
Cutting shorts.
So,
what you're telling us.
So then, obviously, you're a massive monster movie, scary movie fan.
Yeah. Well, I like
when did
films.
that happen? Did that happen when you were? When did you realise you wanted to get into that?
Oh, that was years and years later, really, because I went to drama school, then I got an agent, then I started doing other things. And I know, but that's my point.
Get me, dog.
And so we just, me and my wife wrote a zombie film, and we hawked it around a few places, and a film company called Left Films gave us some money towards it. Yeah. There was film around here on the hills around here.
Yeah.
And so that's cutting the long story short, really. But it was only enough to kind of as a deposit, and we'd have to start going around other places, getting money and getting. We were supposed to get a distribution deal and all that. We didn't really know what we were doing. We just wanted to make it, and we knew mates that had these. What are they called? The SLR cameras, like 5Ds, Canon 5Ds, and all that. But they were broadcast quality. They were like in HD, and it looked good. You could just get it at 24 frames a second, all that. It was small, That was me and my wife and a couple of other people dressed as zombies, But but it was a good story. We really liked the story. And Mark Illis, who's a local writer around here, wrote the screenplay. It wasn't for that screenplay. It wouldn't, No. He served it brilliantly. He was really, really great. And he writes novels and screenplays and everything. So we asked him, and he wrote it for us, which is great, based on our story. And then we made it, and then we couldn't afford actors, so we acted in it. And then we couldn't. And Joe produced it, and I directed it. And then we couldn't afford an editor, so I learned how to edit on the Apple. There was all sorts of things. We ended up just trying to get as much done as we could for this £15,000 that we got given. And then we made it, and a fella at work, Chris Greaves, managed to do all the sound. He said the sound doesn't work. We have to dub it. We have to do all this. We get the music. Tom Ragsdale, who does all our music now, did the music, and it ended up getting a cinema release in England. It came out in Japan, Mexico, did all Europe, came out in North America.
I said it did very well, didn't it?
It was ridiculous. We didn't expect it. It took about a year to make it because we didn't really. And even then, we thought if we can get it into Fright Fest, which is like the film festival in London, which we love anyway, then that's the job done, really. But we'd never expected to get it out there, really doing all that. But we really tried to make it right. Yeah, most of them, they do turn the odd film down and that, you're still on your merits sort of thing. But that was great. And then the second film came out because we met Metrodome, who distributed it in this country, in Cannes, with the next script, and said, would you be interested in doing the other one? So I know, yeah.
The second film then?
Bates. So it was also filmed around here.
So Bait was shot in there.
Was that changed name?
It was called Deleted, and then it was called The Taking, and then it was called Bait when it eventually came out.
Yeah, because that was filmed a lot in Todd Market and around.
It was in Todd Market, yeah. You were in Todd Market for a week,
she's like, oh, Don bought us bacon butties today and stuff. You know what I mean? So,
well, we had to buy everybody bacon butties because there was a bit of a mutiny because they all thought there were some people that were really weird with us. I won't mention the stalls, but they were a bit like, we were like, what? No, I'm all right. And so in the end, we said, what's the matter? Because some of them came up and said, do not get my stall in shot, or I'll sue you. And we were going, what's the matter? Everybody was sound yesterday. And the rumour had gone round that the film was about money laundering on Todd Market. And we were like, it's nothing to do with that. So we tried to find out who'd started the rumour. We couldn't find out. No one was telling us or anything like that. But then we managed to tell them, it's absolutely nothing to do. It's like a horror film, but with the...
What, Todd Market or the film? I
love Todd Market.
I do as well.
Yeah,
I do.
I'd rather go there than any of the supermarkets. You've got experts running each shop. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
There are other butchers available.
No, but Nick's a cracker. Honestly, I've known him since I was about 2-year-old. Nick.
You're upsetting Hannah.
We're not going to upset anyone. We've got to talk about other butchers.
I don't know about that. I've got my beef cheeks.
Oh, have you?
I've got a deal on them.
Yeah, so I don't know where we're at now.
I'm just rambling. The problem is, I hope you got a good editor as well, because I just stutter.
Well, we have now. This is why Vinny's here, because we haven't got an editor, but Vinny's going to start.
Right, great, cool.
Yes. I want to talk about Attack of the Adult Babies.
That, I've not seen the actual film, but that looks really good. And there's one guy in there that looks like Boris Johnson. Was that on purpose?
No.
Right.
He just looked like that. He just did. I don't know why he'd want to look like Boris Johnson, but he looked like Boris Johnson.
Is that a real world thing?
Yeah, but I wouldn't Google it. I'd be very careful about Googling it.
All right.
Googling what?
Adult babies.
Adult babies.
Just don't do it. He's going
to Google it now.
Don't do it. You'll have to take your machine in. You'll be arrested.
Shit. I've Googled it a lot. There's
really It's just it was I don't know. I mean, you'd call it like it was satire, but it was pretty broad stroke satire.
Yeah.
It was really Benny Hill and the Carry On films. It was big fat men in nappies chasing nurses in
tight
stockings, and that was it. And that was the whole thing. But there was a political side to
enjoyed
it as well,
very much. Because it were big fat man in nappies chasing women.
Yeah, but there was like a political slant to it. But along the way, we kind of forgot this political slant. Your dog's farted.
Yeah, he does that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Linda, will you keep me dog? Sorry, my girlfriend's here. She's not saying that. And she's not. Just keep me dog under control.
Making my eyes water, that.
I can't smell it anymore.
Really? You can't smell that? Sinuses are gone.
Just a warning on, it might not be
Right.
You stop telling people that you're a knobhead, you. They hate you.
Yeah, so...
do you do Zombie Fest as well, don't you, with Mark?
Yeah, we've done 9, but they're pretty...
You've done 9 now?
Yeah, they're quite sporadic, though, because we'll do one, and then we'll leave it for 2 years, then we'll do 3 in a row, and then... So the last one was the 9th one, and then we thought if we do a 10th one, we've got to gear up and do a good one, but we can't... It's either you can't be arsed, because it's getting up and getting it organised. It gets easier, but then if you're busy at work, you never know you're going to be... And so some years it's been just like, oh my God, like we've got an hour to get out, we've got to print the posters, we've got to get this, we've got to do this. You've just got to get it out there, and otherwise nobody will turn up. So there's loads of stuff like promotion and that you've got to do, and design, and paying for the films, and getting the royalties, and then getting the venue, and then putting the money up for the venue, and again, and you're terrified that nobody's going to turn up. But it's always a good laugh. Yeah. But we want to do the 10th one and then put a lid on it, really, and never do it ever again. So. Yeah,
do a good one.
Yeah, and also we changed it to the Leeds Horror Film Festival because after 8 of them showing 6 zombie films, what's 8 times 6?
Don't know.
8 times 6.
Go on,
Linda.
48.
Well done. Yeah. So there isn't 48 good zombie films really. No. So you start scraping the barrels. I do, but there's not loads.
You start really going, I'll just watch anything now because
I don't like horror films.
No, what's the matter with you?
Honestly, I've got scared of Dracula, Christopher Lee, when I was a kid. And it scared me. And I think...
It's pretty tame. That. You can show that at dinner time on a Tuesday now.
I watch them. I will watch them. I don't watch them now, but...
2001 version of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
And gone from to that.
The Runners.
When that little girl, and she just...
It's a great start to a film, that, isn't it? It's a fantastic start to a film.
Yeah. And the radio, when the nurse is driving home and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, this film is going to be really good now.
Yeah. And the whole garage explodes.
And then 28 days later came out, and that was again.
Runners.
Britain, so really, good.
Yeah.
That way,
Yeah.
But,
So we turned it into the Leeds Horror Film Festival to broaden because we'd run out of zombie films.
Welding. You don't like horror movies.
I was just going to say, I watched Top Gun.
Do you watch welding films? Do you like that?
I love it.
I really like welding films.
Yeah, he likes Footloose at that moment. Gets him.
Flashdance.
Flashdance, get it right. Get your welding films right.
Come on.
He likes
Edit
that. He loves that move.
I sit there watching how you weld like aluminium because it's really difficult.
You tut at that going, I wouldn't I'd get a mig on that. I wouldn't use TIG on that. You're kidding.
It was my eyes.
Arc welding.
It was gas. Arc were good. I used to like Arc.
Yeah, I liked Arc.
It were good, Arc.
So do you still enjoy doing Emmerdale? You're nearly 30 years into Emmerdale.
I thought you were going to say you're nearly 30 years old.
No, you're nearly 30 years into Emmerdale. Is that right?
28 years. 28 years. Yeah.
You still enjoy it?
I love it. I love it. It's the best job in the world. I love it. Yeah. It still scares me. It's still really... Dog's farted again. And it's the best kind of...
It's not me.
You dirty...
It's funny, I saw a clip of Zach Dingle you today.
Really? Right. Yeah, that was ages ago. Yeah, I still had hair then. I think it was like 2 hours to it. I think the first 14 years I had hair, and the second 14 years I didn't have hair. But maybe it'll come back for the next 14.
Do you have to do a fair bit about vets?
I used to do. We used to do a vet's visit once a year, like a full day at a vet's, just to know what was the little bits were. But there's hardly any of that. It's all about the explosions and the other drama.
It's all about plane crashes and shit, isn't it now?
Well, it always was, yeah.
I haven't watched it for a long while.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, that was about 35 years ago. When that plane crashed.
He's there going over there when we're putting who's coming up on podcasts. He's going, Emmerdale Farm. And I went, it hasn't been called Emmerdale Farm for so long.
Still call it Emmerdale. I think my mum still calls it Emmerdale Farm.
I think last time I watched it, Kim Tate was in it.
She's still in it.
Is she still in it?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah,
she loves horse racing.
She does.
She was always at ripping races.
Yeah, she did. She loves horse racing. Yeah, she does.
She loves it.
Yeah.
She always eats champagne backed.
All right, then. So
I know a story about
your newest movie is Wolf Manor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I've directed. There's
Are you directing that one? So
I did direct that one, yeah. Yeah, they did, yeah. Yeah, somebody else wrote that, and then I directed it. I was kind of hired as the director for that.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it was great. It's the first time that's happened, so yeah, it was good.
That must be good. Because that actually looks really good. Because it's like a bit of a... Is it like
he
a
said that as if
homage?
the others were shit. You went, that one looks good.
No, I told you, I like that baby one. It's more of a homage.
Who's your mate?
It's a homage to Werewolf in London, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, all werewolf films are after Werewolf in London, because it can't be bettered.
I tell you what,
when
when he's doing his change and Werewolf in London, that's freaky deaky, isn't it?
Well, it means that every other film can't do the transition because you can't beat it. Still, when the hand goes up and all that, you just think it's just too good, and his mouth comes out. You just think the special effects can't be better to that. No. You can CGI it, but you can see CGI a mile or so. Yeah. So we didn't do the transition, but we had a great werewolf costume.
You had a proper suit, didn't you?
Yeah, it was Sean Harrison who did Sleepy Hollow and the Avengers, and he's done all sorts of stuff. What was he doing? Harry Potter?
Am I right in thinking that the main character sort of dropped out before you start shooting?
No, the chap in the costume did. So James Fleet was always he's like the star of the film, really. Right. And that was a weird one because it was low budget, as in it wasn't millions. Yeah. But they kept. In terms of casting, they kept saying, we need to get somebody like James Fleet. Yeah. So we were going through the list of people that were like James Fleet, and I said, look, we should give James Fleet a ring, or at least get him through to his agent and get in the script. And then, so I got my agent to ring his agent, and then, get away, you. Although you're lovely. And then they got in touch, and I had a phone conversation with him, and his dad was an engineer who did up Land Rovers.
Go on. You stink. Linda, get that dog.
Hello.
I'm going to say let him sit on your knee, but you can't sit down, can you?
Have you not got a chair? We need a chair.
Scott's nicked a chair. Sorry. That's ridiculous.
Very chivalrous.
It's ridiculous.
Hello. You smelly thing?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, go on. So I can't remember what you're saying.
We were talking about... You were on about...
So do you prefer doing that, directing someone else's film, or would you prefer to write and direct your own? Or...
I don't know, because that was a great treat. That was a director had dropped out because the director usually get a director's pass on the script, and the director had spoken to, and he'd spoken to somebody before that, and they kept saying, "Oh, we need to get more depth to it, and need to get this and get this." And when I spoke to the writer, who was also paying for it, he said, "No, the setup is it's just 10 people in a house, and we go through the kills as special effects." Yeah. And he said, "That's it, and it's dumb, and it's shallow." The actors can talk about how dumb and shallow it is, that there's no backstory, there's no depth to it. And I was like, I get that completely. As long as it knows itself and it isn't dumb, or it knows it's dumb, then I'll just get on with it. So it was great. So it's just like 3.5 weeks of night shoots in Ludlow, and it was just fantastic. And there was no wind, so we had all the smoke machines going all the time. And the special effects were great. And it was good fun, that. And also, it was a short job, because usually if you write it, then you have to go after funding, and funding can take 2 or 3 years, and it collapses and it goes back up again and it collapses, and we've had all that. So it was nice to get with something that was attached, and it was like, we're going in 7 weeks. That's not me, by the way.
You sort him out.
How are you for time then?
What time is it?
We're on 5 to 6.
Oh, 5 to, I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah, no, good, okay.
So, when you were younger, did you read a lot of horror stuff, or was it? How did it come about, or you just through watching it?
I just like films. That's why I got into acting, because I really like films. But I like all films. My favourite film of all time is Whistle Down the Wind. It's just, and that's not anywhere near a horror film. In fact, I think it's kind of a children's film, isn't it? Yeah. Or it's about the innocence of being a child against adulthood, and it's about the things that you miss about being a child before. Someone's gone about fairies this morning on the radio, and you think, I remember believing in all of that. It was a brilliant time, and
when it goes, isn't it?
And then it goes, somebody tells you that Father Christmas doesn't exist, but then they're slightly older kids, and they think they've come across Jesus in the barn, and they completely believe it. And when they go and ask advice, all the adults are just going, get lost, it doesn't exist. And you're just oh my God, it's just, I just think it's a beautiful film. And there's so many motifs in it that you just go, oh, that's a reference to that. So I just like films. Yeah. I like loads of European films. I like loads of art house stuff. But I think when I was growing up, my mate's dad, Lee Whittaker's dad, owned Accrington Video. Right. And we could watch anything. It was before the pre-cert things and that. So, and it didn't harm us at all. I thought The Exorcist was icky. But I didn't go to school upset. You know, it was a harsh film.
I like Elm Street.
Yeah, I like that. You know, that was slightly later, I think. You know, but these are like
Wes Craven.
Yeah, Wes Craven.
Yeah, there's Wes Craven. Yeah.
And he did,
I was going to ask about that. I was just going to say
and
you
he
just.
moved on to Scream, and I thought, what's he done Scream for? It's complete. And then
Yeah, I wasn't fond of it.
I actually liked Scream. Now I watched it again.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it was a bit meta or whatever they call it. But, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask about Russ Meyer and people like that. I'm going to say, any influences?
Well, Russ May was influence on adult babies, definitely.
Was it?
Of course it was.
Yeah. But I just took to you away now.
Vixens and all that, you know.
I don't know who Russ Meyer is. I've got to admit.
I've got another one about a writer called C.P. Lovecraft. I wonder if you knew him or.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horror writer, but like Victorian era.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, you see.
But that's all I know.
Get me my script back.
Was he called CP? Was he not HP Lovecraft?
HP. That's it.
There you go. What's
HP.
yes.
Saucy Lovecraft, as we call it.
That's where the C came
Oh,
from.
thank you. But there's my flash test one. What else have I got on here? Edgar Allan Poe.
Do I know Edgar Allan Poe?
Not everyone knows
Yeah,
Edgar
yeah.
Allan Poe, don't they? No, I just wondering if any of that kind of stuff influenced you, or is it?
Not really.
No.
No. It's more. It's more from the video time, you know, from the things. Yeah. I like the special effects. I always like sitting and watching the special. Oh, sorry.
To be sat here.
No, it's
Interrupted
you two have had your welding moment, and it's gone wrong since. So
So what brought you to Ebden Bridge?
What brought us to Ebden Bridge? The train. But I mean,
Initially, why did you?
yeah,
come to
because I used to be because in Accrington. There was a nice place on the train a few stops down called Ebden Bridge, so we used to just come here.
Right.
It was full of bookshops and record shops. I mean, Sid was going
Sid's.
then.
I know.
Yeah.
1997, I went into Sid's,
Right,
and it weren't a cafe then.
right. No, it wasn't. I think when we moved here, it wasn't
My
a cafe.
wife bought me a Roy Orbison album there. From
Right.
the first album she ever bought me. And I'm like, I love that place. I love
Yeah.
Sid's. And then
Yeah, Sid's was great, yeah.
it was good, wasn't it?
So do you see a big change in Ebden now?
Yeah, massive, yeah. I mean, you know,
So you've been here how long?
I've been here
20 odd years?
20 over 25 years, I
Your
think.
kids were little.
Kids are born and bred here, you know, they're
These ones.
Royd lads and all that, you know. Well, they were born here.
I
Mr.
know,
Joe
I'm
was,
saying,
you know,
I remember you being Sid's though with your kids. And
Yeah,
and
every
I remember
Saturday,
you coming
yeah.
when I
Yeah.
had the cafe, and you
Yeah.
were like, my boys don't want to come out.
No, they don't want to come in anymore. No, you broke the spell. I know. Yeah, they just didn't want to be with us anymore. They don't now. You know,
They
but,
will
yeah.
do eventually.
Yeah.
Won't they? They'll come
Yeah.
back in a bit.
Yeah, but Mickey Joe was born in the above the Heart Gallery, and
Right.
you know, there was a flat above there that we had when we first moved in. But I just loved Ebden Bridge. It was like this, and also the trade club. I mean, during the raves that we used to go to in Blackburn, we ended up getting on a minibus and ended up in the trades club one night. And I didn't know it was the trades club until years later when I got here, and I was like, "This is that room." You know, and they were well in there, all the chaps, whoever had organised it was right in there. And it was at the beginning of the rave scene, like 87, 88, 89, you know, before
That's
it
a
all went.
massive raves. 1991 was big for raves in there,
Yeah.
big time. But
They've
Yeah.
decorated it
Yeah.
since. It's still the same room, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love it though.
Exactly
Trades
same,
club's
yeah.
fantastic, yeah.
Same cloth on pool table.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I like playing there. It covers up that I can't play.
Blame the clock.
Yeah, play with the top.
Choose that air hockey or pool, can't you, on that? It's that bad. But no, all right then. So one question for you.
Go on.
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but and away from Ebden Bridge, but what if you had to choose between directing, acting, or writing?
Yeah.
Would you?
Acting in Emmerdale.
Would you really?
Any day, yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's what I love.
It's good, isn't
I
that?
love it.
That's
I really
great,
love it.
isn't it?
I feel really loyal towards it. I think there's a snobbery towards soaps. Like, we're never on Radio 4, we're never invited on Graham Norton or anything like that, but, you know, we're on telly all the time.
It's
But there's still that
mainstay,
snobbery of, like, you know, they are them. But it's the hardest job in the world, you know. You get people coming on that they go, yeah, I was at the RSC for 10 years, and you just say, oh, shut up. We'll see you on set, you know, and then the amount of lines you have to learn. We had one day, me and Lucy Pargeter, we took the scripts home, and I had 249 sentences to learn for that day. It was a full day. It's probably the most I've ever had. But, you know, it's in and around that on your busy days. You know, not everybody can do it. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I'm not saying
So
that. I'm just saying
thinking
that
I've got
it's not.
But I'm looking at here to ask you about 6 questions, and I can't remember them. No chance.
But it's not, you know, it's something that it still scares the life out of me, is my point, you know, and it's still something that I really get a lot out of, and I admire all the people I'm working with. And then it all changes over time, you know, I'm not the same character I was at the beginning. And also, you know, you can make yourself unemployed after 10 years, and I'd get hired for the same thing. I'm still a thick-set northern lad. balding at the time, you know, but you still get the same part. So why put yourself out of work? You know, I'd rather stay there. And I love it. The writing's brilliant. The building's brilliant. You know, the people there are superb. And I love it, you know. I'd choose that over anything.
You've seen a lot of changes on it over the years then?
Yeah, but very slowly all the time, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Any more welding questions?
I'm no more welding questions. I'm done.
So you were showing off throwing your thing now.
Yeah, I'm knacking now.
What have you been eating?
I'm just going to be quiet.
So what's have you got another film in the making then? Or?
Yeah, so my wife had done 2 shorts directing. So she's on set she produces them all. And so she's on set all the time. And also I'm always bouncing off the shot list and the shot list and the camera plans all the time with her. So, and she's always on set. So she kind of knew all the films 360 really. So when she got the chance to do this feature film in Serbia, she was given this incredible budget, 2.6 million to make this film. It was on the film, and 3 months in Serbia to make it. And it was an adaptation of a short film that we'd made that Tracy Shields had written the story.
Right.
And I wrote the screenplay. And it was great. It was just like, she just flew. And that was the next thing. So I'll carry on scrambling around the floor doing the little low budget horrors. But Jo seems to be just going like that. You know, she was in Rome, checking locations for the next one. This American Money that she seems to have just steamed ahead and left me in the dust, really. You know?
It's all good though, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love all that, you know. I'm up for anything. I'll just do it, you know.
I love it.
Have you got anything else?
No, Linda looks after me.
Well, I know she does, yeah. I know
it's
you're
great.
very lucky. You're pumping at you.
No, it is. So you've been married a long while, haven't you?
Yes.
And you met. Did
Drama
you meet
school.
at drama school?
Yeah, 93. Yeah.
How old would you have been then?
23. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's brilliant then, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm.
Yeah.
It took a while to get married. We went out together for ages, and then we got married and had kids. But we weren't married till 2003, I think. 10 years.
We've been together 21 years, me and my wife.
Have you?
And then we bit the bullet and got married,
Yeah.
We've been married 6 years, but we've been together at 27. So.
Oh, wow. Before you actually got married?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. God, right, yeah.
27 years.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. She's the one for me, you know. I can't imagine being with anybody else, you know, at all.
And is it good? Do you not mind working with each other?
No, I love it. No, that's the whole thing, because I'm an Emmerdale, so and Jo does tons of voiceover. She does theatre. She's a jobbing actress, so she's done all dramas that have been around. So we've never actually worked together. So
but you worked on the film.
Yeah, well, that was the saying. So to get that together,
so was that good?
And that was great. Yeah, it was ace. Yeah, because also you haven't got to wait till the morning. You haven't got to wait to get into an office. She's on the settee opposite me. You know, we can just work and work and work, so that. Yeah, you know, we're planned by the time you get on set.
Oh, good.
All the interviews I've seen you in together, you just look as though it's funny. One of you stops talking, the other one just.
Yeah, that's an act.
Yeah, it's nice to see that, and it's like as celebrities go, because you are a celebrity.
I don't feel like a celebrity. I don't really do the.
No, I know you don't.
The thing. I walk around with my hat pulled down. I don't do any of the awards things if I could help it.
Did I cut a key wrong for you the other day?
Did you what? Yeah, you did. I forgot to bring it. Yeah,
bring it round.
Disappointing.
It is disappointing.
Yeah, you wouldn't get engineers doing that.
I'm going. Oh,
mine would have been exact.
I hope he's not cancelling podcast. Oh shit! I've got a key wrong for him.
That's right across the room.
Oh shit! He's going to cancel him. Oh no!
For a key wrong. I don't mind.
Jasper,
I just want a refund. What does it matter? Can I bring it in and get it done?
Of course you can, and it'll be free.
Right, well. But did you order some new keys in then? Because you even did it and said that might not fit.
I know.
And then it didn't fit.
No. You've sent me pictures, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I think I've ordered them.
Oh, great.
Those pictures. Yeah.
Key costing.
Talking about keys is nearly as interesting as me talking about sheet metal work.
The welding thing was good. And you were so excited, weren't you, when he's got I've been a welder.
You don't meet people who are welders.
I am a welder. I'll always be a welder. That's what I am.
I can just remember my kids going when we sent kids to St. Christopher's, because there were no sort of, because it was a good Christian sort of school, and it was like the best school we could find. Because we were in Nelson. We from Nelson.
Yeah, I know that. All my mates from Nelson. Yeah.
So it's like. And I was just like, and they said, oh, they've got a rival school down Rocco Moorhead.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it, I went on Wikipedia, and then I thought, that's brilliant. And then Scott went, yeah, I used to be a welder. I went, no way.
He was psyched then.
It's on horror films. I bet we were knocking around. He said, well, you won't know anyone. I said,
he's a lot younger than you, Gordon.
We went to like a training centre for the first year.
Right.
And I said, well, everyone went to training centre. I
went to the training centre in the middle of Accrington, opposite Warner Street.
All right.
And then I went to Blackburn College for the rest of it.
Oh, see, we went to Burnley College.
Ah.
Yeah, rubbish.
I went to Burnley College.
Did you?
But it takes the edge off being a poncy actor as well, so you can just say, well, I'm actually a trained welder as well. So like, oh, all right, you're a welder. Right. All right, feel them hands.
As me now.
Level.
Yeah, segs on my hands, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it kills the kids that as well, because, you know, we're in Hebden Bridge now, we're not in Accrington, but they don't like the fact that they're not little, like, scrappers.
Right.
They would like to be little scrappers, but they're not.
No.
They're not, no.
Well, if you do well in life, you give your kids a different life to what you had, don't you?
I'm pretty strict like that. I don't really give them anything. But,
but you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
They'll automatically get an easier life than you had, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but, you know, their mum is from the south and the dad's an actor, so they're like, it's an embarrassment, really. I had to drop them off at school, like, on the street above as well and all that.
Send them to Cass's gym if they want to be
scrapped. They go all the time. Yeah.
They go boxing.
Yeah, they go boxing all the time. Is he Cass?
Yeah, Cass.
I'll say hello to Cass. He's lovely Cass, yeah, he's there, Cass, yeah.
So
he's a character.
He's a character. He's kind of like, you can sit next to Cass.
I'm not sitting next to Cass. Cass is
kind of scary.
I just like a little midget here, mate.
Did you know he used to be the bodyguard of Meatloaf?
I do.
Oh, I thought I was going to give you anything.
Did he go to Isle of Wight with him? Isle of Wight, wasn't it? And he bodyguarded him for 3 weeks.
Yeah, with Adam Fogarty.
Yeah, with Adam Fogarty, yeah.
Have you had Adam Fogarty on here?
No.
Oh, you're going to get Adam on?
This is it. I'm going to have a word with Cass.
You shake Adam's hand like that, and he's like got hands, but like 5 times bigger than a human hand. Like
that. Yeah, we interviewed a guy. Was his name Jeff Turner? We interviewed Jeff Turner, and he did a big thing about amateur boxing through the valley from Halifax.
Right. Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
really good. So then you start realising, Cass was involved in that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I used to sponsor Kelly Dale, and I also know Joe Garside quite well.
Yeah.
Professional boxer. Yeah, Kelly's had to give up, but they all tie in together. They all started out.
Is that where you go your boxing training?
I don't go boxing training. I do a bit of
boxing training.
I train with Kelly. Yeah, I do. I've got to try and keep fit. I'm getting older. I don't actually box.
Does it not mess with your hair?
Yeah. My wife boxed for years. She ended up doing an amateur fight in America, which was through Cass's gym, when Kate Dakers used to run it.
Right.
And she took a little gang of them over to the Gleason's gym in New York for a fight, which is brilliant, you know. But her shoulder's gone now completely.
It just starts hurting when someone hits you after a bit, doesn't it? You know what I mean? When you're a kid, it's not so bad, but then all of a sudden you go, well, I'm brittle.
I try to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, so you just say it ties in. So we'll have Joe Garside on and we'll have Cal on. But Cal had at such a young age, he got his arm badly damaged, and he went through the NHS and kind of knacked it a bit more.
Knacked it up, right? Yeah.
So he's now training people.
A counsellor, you can't say stuff like that.
Powerhouse boxing.
Yeah.
But he's such a young lad, and he's just adapted to what he's been given. Do you know what I mean? And he's really, really sharp. His Cal, I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right, counsellor. You carry on.
Counsellor, I know.
Oh no, don't.
Brilliant.
He is counsellor, and he gets.
You have to behave now, so you can't swear on camera. You can't do it. You can't hold a pint. You got to hide your pint. Oh, man, a half.
He's just been knocking NHS. He's counsellor. What are you doing?
I can knock things.
You can't.
You can't anymore. You can't do any of that.
Got a funny handshake club now, you.
What do you make of like this parking malarkey and everything in town?
Well, I don't want to get into politics in the area, but there's not enough parking in Hebden Bridge anyway, so why anybody would think that removing even more parking because they ride a bike is ridiculous. And my mum lives up a hill. Yeah. She had a heart attack. No, actually cut that bit, sorry. So, I better not because it's a personal thing. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay, so I don't know why anybody would want to remove any more parking spaces from Hebden Bridge just because they're into riding bikes. I like riding a bike, but my mum is getting on.
Yeah.
And the flat bit is in the middle of the valley, and the rest of it's like that. Yeah. So how's my mum going to get down on a bike?
Yeah. I've had some customers in today who said, we came just before Christmas when we were needing it, and they're really good customers. They said we couldn't park, so we went away.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I had friends from Leeds that came over. They said, you've got to come to the bridge. And I said, and don't miss Market Street. And I was telling them about all the bit. Don't miss that bit. It's a really good part. And they said they just drove around and went home, and that was it. So it just drives me insane. And also, £1 minimum for parking. I know it's 20p now, but it's going to go up, isn't it?
£1 and £2 for an hour.
Yeah.
£2 for an hour.
So if you're going to come in and get a pint of milk, then it's going to cost you double for a pint.
Your wrist running in and going, quick.
I mean, are they going to give you 10-minute grace? They're going to let you.
No.
It's unbelievable.
No. So, like, where my shop is, you know where my shop is? Like, down back of there tomorrow, that's all shut off for parking, and they put in 14 spaces in, and it's going to be monetised. So, people who live around there, they've got to find somewhere else to park.
Well, that's the other thing as well. What if you live here? Yeah. And what if you work here?
Town centre parking is difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you work here 8 hours a day, then you've got to pay.
It's the nonsense of when they took that parking away. I was saying, you know, the people on Falling Road are probably people who are walking in because they're coming here to work. So if they can't park there, then they're then trying to take up spaces in town, and it gets even worse.
Yeah, I had a mate that worked in McDonald's in London, and he said there was the parking meter that was making more an hour than he was. You know, and it's outrageous, and it's a personal. It feels like it's somebody else's agenda, and they're being very selfish about it, and they're not thinking of the demographic of everybody else that lives here.
It's an ideology that they're chasing, and they should.
It's fine in Holland as well, isn't it? And it's all right. We're in the flat. We're in the middle of it.
To Copenhagen, it was brilliant. Everyone biked, but it was set up for it, and it's flat.
Yeah, and also it rains here, and it's absolutely freezing for 6 months of the year, which is great, and that's why we love it. We like the seasons. Well, exactly. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah, let's not get into politics. Just because you're a councillor now,
you started it.
I didn't.
I
just told you not to knock it NHS.
Can I ask a question, please?
Why have you got off, mate?
And do you get like a gold thing, or is that
no, yeah, that's my mayor.
Oh, you're going to be mayor.
I thought you were going for MP.
I'm going to eventually.
Do it. I'll vote for you.
Would you really?
Definitely, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I've voted Labour all my life. Well, not around here.
No, you can't do it anymore, can you?
I'm going independent around here.
I know, I've talked to so many people who are like...
It's not my Labour
a lot of people that have handed tickets in and they're like, I'm not having anything to do with this, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. All you've got to do as a local councillor is listen to what people are telling you and try and implement it. That's it.
All you've got to do.
It's not about what you want.
No, it's all you've got to do.
It's not about
It's about what the majority want.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. I'll give it a go. But
what's good for West Yorkshire, not Westminster?
That's it. West Yorkshire, not Westminster.
Very good.
That's my tagline, that.
On the T-shirt.
He's nicked that. I nicked that off you then, didn't I?
You nicked it. I nicked it off you.
Oh, you didn't just make it up? Oh, I was impressed then. That's terrible. Right, I'm going home.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me into your shop.
You know what?
No,
Brilliant,
thank you. Are we done?
We got a good editor.
Yeah.
Because I ramble.
So what we'll do is we'll send you a copy through before.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just in case I want some bits nipping.